My name is Zack, and I welcome you to something called as 3 Lives Extras. Basically, in this episodes, I'm going to narrate the parts we missed, some parts in detail, and finally those stories which were not related to the main event, but the main characters were affected because of it. In this episode, I'm going to speak about a very stupid mistake I did in the main episodes, which was not introducing myself throughout the 3 episodes. My name is Zack. People call me Zack the Racer. This entire series is about my life. 3 stages of my life. More precisely, the 3 types of lives I lived. Each of the main episodes cover the transition period from one life to another. But it has a problem, which is that it doesn't show how I got to my first life, which is a boring story, but I'll try to make it as interesting as possible so that we can give this story a good depth. I was born in a middle class family, and as all the middle class kids, even my parents had expectations from me. They wanted me to study and become successful. But since the beginning of time, I guess, my interest was racing and racing only. Since childhood, I was a racer. There was a sharp turn on my track where I used to ride my cycle daily. I never could take that turn when I was at high speed. That turn was the only fear I had in my first life. I was destined to become a racer, but my parents didn't like it. I had to buy a bike on my own, and I wasn't the fastest at that time, so I used to lose a lot of money. My parents were worried. They could see me running towards a dark future. They shouted at me. They were regular fights, and one fine day they said me to either stop racing or leave the house forever. And I chose to leave. Then I met Joffrey, who funded me for the races. One fine day, I went on a vacation with my friends without informing anyone in my relatives. There was this tall guy. I forgot his name, but there was something he told me which was very precious, and I always kept it in my memory. It was the time while we were coming back from the vacation trip, and he, throughout the vacation, was very confident about his decisions. So I decided to take a test of it, and I went to him and I asked whether I'll become a successful racer in my life or not. Within a second, he gave a nod and said, "Yes, I will become a racer." On asking him why, he replied, saying, "Human is a funny animal. It never appreciates what it has and always runs behind the things they cannot acquire. They confuse between difficult path and the correct path. But that's what makes things interesting. You see, on the difficult path, it is difficult to make through, and hence they make mistakes. For those mistakes, they need to find solutions, and these solutions help them to evolve. These solutions make them different from all the other animals out there. Basically, humans are idiots for not selecting the easier path or the correct path. But being an idiot is the one thing that makes them different from any other thing on this planet. On getting back, I was informed that my mom and my dad died in a car accident a couple of days ago, and no one knew how to contact me. So I was informed 2 days later their funeral. I couldn't even give them the last send off. I was upset of whatever I did, but I didn't have time to curse myself because someone called me and said that my family was murdered